Mic check 1 2 1 2. This is your host, not some baby, and this is another episode of Swingers After Dark, and I'm with a very luscious, delicious Al associate of mine in the swing lifestyle, and we're gonna talk about catching your spouse, your mate, your significant other, your husband, your whatever the case you want to call it, your fuck buddy. Catching them fucking somebody raw. Yes, raw diggity dog without that latex, man. At a swing party or even outside of the parties. It could be like vanilla. And for you so motherfuckers, vanilla means non-lifestylers, non-swinger. It's not your favorite flavor, goddammit. So, let's get down to the nitty gritty. So, first of all, how long you met this dude? Well, how long you been knowing this dude?
I didn't know very long, about 6 months.
6 months. And were you serious or were y'all just fuck buddies?
We were more than fuck buddies. We were serious. I was reluctant to get in a relationship with get into a relationship with him at first because he immediately asked me. But I decided that that's what I was going to do after us, hanging out and realizing we were having a good time together, and we met on a lot of different levels.
Yeah, the pussy was good, so he had to lock you down.
Fun.
So how serious were y'all?
We were serious as dating and having a good time. We talked about marriage and the future. So I think it was pretty serious. So I thought.
Wait, hold up. So you telling me after 6 months you wanted to marry? Y'all was talking marriage, like wedding bells and eloping and vows and all that good shit.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I actually do believe in that. I believe a lot of people wait until the fire in their relationship burns out. People actually used to get together a long time ago when they were courting, and they would get together really early. So waiting 6 months, that's long enough to know what you want from an individual and how far you're willing to take it.
That's what's up. Chemistry is worth more than time. So did you meet him outside of the LS, the lifestyle, or in the lifestyle?
No, I met him in the lifestyle at a party.
At a party. So was he lifestyle friendly or was he hardcore?
No, he was lifestyle friendly.
Oh, so what made you like him as opposed to other dudes that you met at these parties, or even outside of the parties?
Well, one, I typically don't get into relationships with guys who are outside of the parties. I need to be with a like-minded individual so that we have something in common to talk about. If I want to talk about, can I curse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. if I want to talk
like family, she doesn't listen to my podcast. So she doesn't know how we get down. Anyway, keep going.
If I want to talk about somebody walking down the street, because I am into women, I might say, oh, she got a fat ass, or she's got big breasts, or I might even be able to talk about with a open man, like, oh yeah, this guy's dick is so big, or talk about porn. Different type of perversions that I may be interested in. A lot of vanilla men are not interested in that. And even if they are interested in it, they don't feel comfortable talking to their lady about it. So I don't typically get into relationships with men outside of the lifestyle. So when we did meet, and, he's educated, he's smart, intelligent, he's funny, I like video games. He likes video games. We talk about quantum physics. We met on so many different levels that I felt as though that he was interesting enough that I could talk to him outside of parties.
Okay, so did y'all automatically go to parties when y'all got together, or why didn't y'all just wait just to build a foundation?
We didn't go to parties together right away. I actually met him at a party and never played with him. From then, we kept in contact and communication. We went on a couple of dates. We went out a few times without even having sex.
So were there any signs that he was a creep?
Yeah, he would tell me stories about different situations he would be in that were risque situations where he would make up, I'm not sure if they were lies or what, about women date raping him or taking advantage of him. In each situation, he was always the victim. And so I kind of listened to it, but, since I liked him, I kind of was like, well, it could be true, it couldn't be true, who knows? There's crazy people out there that might do it. Maybe there are a group of women out there just dropping drugs and guys' drinks at parties and, having raw sex with them.
Okay, so did y'all have protected sex?
No. I did not have unprotected sex with him.
So So you saying y'all did not have unprotected sex?
No, we don't have.
So what's the point of being in a relationship if you can't get relationship perks?
I mean, maybe for some people, unprotected sex is a perk, but I don't necessarily believe so. I believe you can still be in a relationship with a person and like them just as much and not have to have not use a condom. Like, what difference does it make if you use a condom or not? I'm not sure.
See, family, ladies, when you have protected sex with your mate, don't be surprised when he fuck other bitches raw. So get to the night or the day or whatever when you caught him, doing his thing with another fifi.
I mean, we went to a party. It was a popping party. We had a great weekend, and once again, there were signs there. We went ahead and we rented. It was like a resort, and we went to the resort, and we had a great time. And he came to me because I'm very open minded. I don't have. In the beginning, when we first got together, he came to me about rules. Part of the thing that I believe that which he told me he liked about me the most was I don't have as many rules as other women. I'm not telling a man or my significant other they can't go. I'm going to take them to a playground. They can't get on every swing. You get on as many swings as you like. You can play with all the equipment that you want to. Swing from the top of your head. The only thing that I ask is, like, you put on knee braces. Use protection. And that's my one rule. And I told him why, that I had previously been in a relationship with a man who was just out there. And that was, at the time, like, kind of a vanilla guy. And he was doing that. And that makes for a scary situation. We also talked about recent things in the lifestyle where people were going around having STDs and things like that, and how it was important to keep us safe because some STDs are skin-to-skin contact. Mm-hmm. And you don't necessarily have to do a lot. And it's already risque that you're down there having oral sex unprotected. It's not like I'm always around and you're going to use dental dams. Not even I use dental dams if I was to perform oral sex on a girl. So it's already risque. But there's other things that we had to think about. So it's like, you talk about marriage, like if it's already 6 months and you want to get into a relationship and you're talking about marriage, that means in the next 6 months, we're talking about rings and moving forward. So what happens in our particular situation where a woman becomes pregnant? Mm-hmm. It's not just about being afraid of STDs. Sometimes it's about being afraid of what you have to face in the future. If you want a future with me, you want a future with her because she might have a baby. And if you're so drunk, then I don't know what to tell you.
Look, if I'm in a relationship with a chick, we fucking raw. No and ifs, buts, ors about it. But go back to that night when you did catch him. Like, how did you catch him? And how do you know he was fucking up without a condom?
We were at a lifestyle party, and I was on a different level of the house, and I was having a good time. I came upstairs with a group of friends because we were all together. Like, we were like playing around downstairs. We came upstairs together because I said I had to get something. We were going to smoke, chill, hang out, and we hear giggles like from like the bedroom. So, we're creeps, we're nosy, we're like, ooh, because nobody else was really on that floor active. So we're like, let's go be nosy and see what's going on. We were in a really nice house, and so it was huge. There's a mirror that shows a reflection of the bathroom shower, which is clear. Mm-hmm. So we go and like, we don't want to mess up nobody's groove. So we go and we look in the mirror and we're like, oh, snap, somebody about to get busy. Or, oops, we missed it because they washing up. We can clearly see suds on their body. He is well endowed, so I can see him like putting soap on his penis. So I'm like, okay. But I kind of see the girl, like she's like tooting her ass out. And I'm like, all right. But then we notice, oh, shit. Ain't that your dude? Yeah. I was like, oh, shit. Well, he could be finishing up. Let's not jump to conclusions. They might be about to get out. Whatever. Shit, we might all get it popping. We don't know. So we're looking, and from the reflection, he rinses his dick off, and he just sticks it right in there. Mm. And so now we're looking like the meme with the birds, like, oh, shit. And, like, the rest of the day was like, oh, shit. Your dude is fucking the chick raw. And so at this time we're looking in the reflection, but now I had to look around the corner. I no longer want to see a reflection. I need to know that I'm seeing there's no condom. I'm looking for a brim. I'm seeing him pull it all the way out. I watched about 7 strokes. 7 strokes through the shower, no condom, anything like that. So immediately I was upset. The people that I was with, like, you know, they could see that I was a little embarrassed. They tried to coddle me by, like, taking me away from the situation. We went to another room in the house where I tried to calm down. When I realized that I couldn't calm down, I went to go pack my stuff. But where we were, there were no Ubers or Lyfts that you could catch. So I was kind of stuck.
I was in West Bubblefuck.
Yes, we were. And there was nothing I could do. But I was still going to pack up my stuff. So when he was ready to go, I could just walk right out the door. Then the people who were with me were like, well, I'll drive you back to your hotel and you don't have to worry about it. I said, all right, cool. Pack the rest of my stuff. He seen me. He didn't see my face at first. And then I was like, I just don't want to talk to you right now. And he was like, why? I said, I'll talk to you when we get back. Because I'm still going to be a lady. I don't want to make a bigger scene in the household. Because right now I want to scream at you. I want to holler at you. I might want to hit you. But I'm not into embarrassing myself any further than I've already done. But he continues to push and ask me what happened. And after that, I was just like, well, why don't you go ask Shorty about, like, the last time she got STD checked? Since you want to fuck her raw in the shower in front of everybody. And he kind of, like, stepped back with the, oh, shit. And he said, no, let me explain. The condom popped. I said, well, listen, there was no condom. Where's the condom at? Because did it wash down the drain? You know, did you slingshot it somewhere outside the shower and we didn't see it? Because we clearly seen you wash your dick off with no condom and then stick it in her. And he admitted after that, he was like, you know, I made poor decisions and I'm drunk, I'm really intoxicated and I made poor decisions, you know, and I like to talk about it. And he's telling me all this once we get back to the hotel, of course. And I'm like, you know, that doesn't matter. So I broke up with him. I'm like, fuck it. You know, if you're going to do that, like I said, I only have one rule. So if you break that one rule, like, we don't live in the same state. So let's say you do like to have unprotected sex because you're not fucking me raw. Okay, well, you can do that at home. You, like, to me, is like, oh, you might like to smoke weed, but you're not going to smoke weed at work. Have a little reservation about yourself. Yeah, discretion, reservation, something to where you're thinking correctly. Because I asked him, you know, he was displeased that I broke up with him and was like, you know, you must not really care about me since you just broke up with me right away and people make mistakes and all this. And I said, well, listen, let's put the shoe on the other foot. We go to a lifestyle party or anywhere and you catch some nigga just like fucking me raw. Like, what happens? What happens if I bring back a baby? What happens if I bring back a disease? What happens if I need Valtrex and a plan B? Like, what do you do then? And I'm sure that you would want to break up with me too. I don't know that you would be able to, like, stick through it. But that's what he said. And all of a sudden, you know, we didn't speak for a couple of hours. And then he told me he spoke to friends who shared his views. And I kind of wanted to know why. A few of them were women, and then some of them were even men, saying how they stayed with their women, even though their women had went out there and had babies on them and cheated on them and different things like that. And I was just like, wow, that's a shame that you guys have such low self-esteem, that you don't care about yourself, to know your worth. Because if you're willing to have unprotected sex with some random woman that you met at a lifestyle party, even with the discussions that are happening right now that are in your face, then you really have no value in your life. You're a risk taker in an already risque lifestyle. So it can become problematic. So therefore, before we move forward, I'd rather not take that risk with you. Because, I mean, we don't have unprotected sex, but I do suck his dick without it. So it's like, well, shit. It don't matter if you burn my mouth or you burn my vagina, it's still the same. But yeah.
He told you the old condom broke trick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. I wasn't going for that. You couldn't manipulate me that way. Or the only way that I would believe that is if you told me this, that maybe they were having sex somewhere else and the condom broke and then you just decided to take the condom off and then y'all went and washed up and decided to have sex again. And you figured, oh, well, since I already did it, whatever I caught. I'm going to just keep fucking her raw. And I'm just like, I mean, I can foresee that happening. I don't know why you would do it. I don't know why you wouldn't stop for a second, because this is not a man who had to go far from condoms. He literally ordered them on Amazon. And I'm a person of protected sex. I have condoms in abundance. Literally, I was at another party with somebody else's guy. Like, we were all about to swap. And, like, he was like, okay, you ready? Bend over. And, like, he didn't even pull out a condom or nothing. And then I was like, well, what are you about to do? And he was like, oh, well, I don't have any condoms. People are just like so willy-nilly and free. And I was like, hold, pause. And I threw a bunch of condoms in the air out of my pocketbook. Like, I have condoms by the boatloads. You don't ever feel like you have to trick me into having sex with you unprotected because I have them on deck. But I just don't believe people care. Or what I could believe is that people out here already have STDs. And since they already caught it, they like, fuck it, well, what else can happen? And they just throw the towel in the air like, shoot, I'm out here, I done caught this, and the third. What's next?
So do you think that the reason why he's going raw diggity is because you're not giving him unprotected sex?
No, not at all. I believe the reason why he is having unprotected sex is because he likes to. I mean, a man who, I understand, it's not that I've never had unprotected sex before. I'm not going to sit here and say that. But I understand that once you get that raw feeling, that's what you like. And if
it's like, not to cut you off, you're like trying to chase that first high.
Yeah, and so it's like if you always got to wear a condom and then you go somewhere and some chick don't care, then sure, why not? I understand that totally. And I kind of told him that, you know, while I was disappointed in him and I no longer choose to be with him, I still wanted to be friends with him because I still think he's an amazing person. But you just are unhealthy to my lifestyle. And that trust factor that you broke, you can't really get that back because it's done. It's over. So, but I still think he's an awesome person, but I think he likes to have unprotected sex because that's what he like. You know, it's easier to, but like men don't I'm sure guys, I hear that condoms, and it's like that for women too. Don't think it's not. Like with condoms, it does make it harder to climax because you feel different things when you're wearing a condom. Like sometimes, you know, when you come after coming so much, you know, condoms can like start drying you out, or the condom does dry out. And if you don't take the time to switch the condom, then you just kind of like lost the mood, or the dick goes soft, or the vagina's not wet. And then you lose the mood if you have to take a minute like, oh, you about to bust. But then like something switches up. And now all of a sudden she came, but now she not coming no more. So her pussy drying up because she not aroused anymore. Now you have to stop and take the condom off. That couple of seconds, did you stop to do something else? You could miss a beat. And once you miss that nut that you were about to get, there you go. It's going. You got to try a little harder. So I understand why people do like to have unprotected sex. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. Rock out if that's what you want to do.
Well, don't get it fucked up. A lot of women, they love raw sex just as men, just as we do. So
yeah,
some of them be front and front and front and.
No, I mean I liked it when I had it too, but you know, like I said, I was in a situation with somebody who was just out there, and he went out there and he's having babies and other things is happening, and having a life scare will change your mind about a lot of different things, and you just got to make up your mind like what you're gonna do. Do you want to use protection regardless? And just, even if you have a scare, oh no, I don't know what to do. And just make up your mind whether you're going to be safe with everybody or you're going to trust certain people. But my thing is this. I felt as though that I could trust this individual. That's why I didn't need to make rules and regulations about how you operate. Because this is what I disbelieve. A lot of women in the lifestyle, they have these rules with their men, and they're like, oh, well, you can only sleep with certain partners that I choose, or I have to pick them, and things like that. Or they have so many different parameters where you're locking a person in. But in actuality, you have an unprotected sex with this man. Either you trust him or you don't. So my thing is, I trust you to wear condoms. Now you broke that trust. Where do we go from there? Nowhere.
So what did the chick, did she know that your dude at the time was fucking her without a condom?
Absolutely. She tooted and booted that booty right in the air. She had a fat ass too. Little cute Puerto Rican joint. I wasn't mad. Like, I'm sure that shit probably felt popping too. I believe it. I believe that shit was probably good. The way he was fucking it seemed like it felt good. And it was in the shower, that shit was popping. Because we said that we watched for a minute. Because like I said, I needed to know that it was unprotected sex. So I don't want to like you know, be like, oh, and then like he had the dick in too far, and then like, you know, the condom was like a little further down. Like, no, I'm up in that joint. Like, we all looking, all of us, and I couldn't be wrong by myself. We all saw the same thing, so it was like, oh, all right.
He was doing the Macarena in the pussy.
Yes, and that's how he was.
Ow. So so would you take him back, or it's just a done deal, finito?
No, it's finito. I told him we could still be friends though, but he didn't like the fact that we could still be friends. My thing is this, and this is the way I explained to him. Like, he came to me, he's like begging, like, what can I do to fix this? Yada, yada, yada. What I explained to him is this, that this particular night you got to pass. I was far away from home. I wasn't in a safe environment. I couldn't leave at my leisure. But that could have completely went left had I been high, had I been drunk, had I had a bad day, had I been emotional. Things like that happen, and you hear all the time crimes of passion where people are finding their significant others, people are finding their family members in bushes and ditches. I actually, not because of unprotected sex, but just because I had sex with somebody's husband at a party. She gave me permission to have sex with her husband, but it was like an underlying tone, like, oh, y'all can do whatever y'all want. But when she seen the action happen, now she felt some type of way, and she came down the steps with a knife. And I don't know who she was going to stab, but he thought he was going to keep fucking me, and I had to kick this nigga out the pussy, because I'm like, she's not going to stab you on top of me or stab both of us, so I got to go. So what I tried to explain to him, and I don't think he understood, is that is a hazard to someone's mental welfare, and it puts your life in danger. If I have a bad day or anything happen, it can happen with any woman or any man. I see that shit, it might trigger something. You don't know all of my past, and then I come in there and I try to hurt you, or maybe you do it, you're a repeat offender, and something else happens. Then what am I supposed to do then? Anything can happen, and I don't want to trigger that. I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah. When the bitch came with the knife, you probably heard
yeah, it's like you had to think
some Lorena Bobby or Jason type shit.
And that was in the LS. So that was a very scary moment for me, because here it is, a wife gave permission, and she changed her mind. And when
that's why I don't fuck with couples. Anyway, keep going.
And when she changed her mind, immediately I see her with a big knife from the kitchen. And she's holding it just like they are in the movies and shit, like, you know, knife down. Like, and she's going to stab somebody and hit like an artery. And I'm scared. So it's just like, why? And in my mind, why would you want to be in that position? Like, how strong do you think? Like, you must really believe in me and believe I'm a very strong woman, that I can sit up there and watch you fuck another individual raw when we don't even have raw sex. That's the biggest thing. We don't even have unprotected sex, and you think that I could mentally sit there and watch that? That was the grace of God. Whoever you believe in, Allah, Jesus, Buddha, saved your life. Because had it turned around, it could have been very, very unfortunate for the both of us. I could have been locked up, and he could have been hurt or in jail or something like that. And I really didn't know what to do, but I did explain to him that I actually do love the guy. I really like who he is as a person. I think he's dope as shit.
Sometimes it's good to be friends.
Yeah, but you know what? You want to know the crazy thing? He flipped that shit on me. And he told me that, well, if it's so easy for you to break up with me, that means you never really cared about me. And that means that your intentions towards me were ill. And I can't trust you. I said, wow.
Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, I said manipulation at its finest. I said, I'm sorry you feel that way. And then, like, he hung up on me. And I tried to, like, reach out to him and let him know, like, we can still be friends. I think you're a dope-ass dude. But he chooses not to be friends with me and doesn't want to have any communication. And I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad that you're mad at yourself that you made a mistake. So, or maybe your ego is just so big that you can't see that you need to humble yourself and take accountability for your actions.
So any last words?
I believe whether you're in a relationship or not, maybe take that chance if you do get married. But you shouldn't have unprotected sex in a lifestyle. It's enough that people in the lifestyle are open-minded enough to share not only their bodies, but their significant others with strangers. You shouldn't want to share other intimate things like VD and yeast infections and anything else that might just be floating around. I think you should just have a little more, like Wavy said, discretion about the things that you do and value your body, because while you're out here and you may not have anything and it may be innocent, there are people out here who are being malicious, and because they were hurt or somebody did it to them, they want to just do it to everybody, and you don't know. And all it takes is 1 second, one stroke, 1 minute, and then it's done. And you can't change that. And some things you can get rid of, some things you can't. Some of them last a lifetime, like HIV and herpes and, babies. So be prepared when you decide to have unprotected sex with an individual, period, but definitely in the lifestyle. And like I said, I couldn't be mad if you actually knew the person and you told me that was an ex-girlfriend or something. Shit slipped my mind. But random people, that's just different. And just wrap it up, everybody. Get tested, wrap it up, and be safe. And don't disrespect your lady at a party. You want to have unprotected sex? Go do it at a hotel.
Oh, yeah, you get rid of babies too, but that's another story. Anyway, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark, and this is not Sun, baby. I'm going to let you slide with you calling me Wavy. Anyway, it's not, it's all good. It's not Sun, baby. Hit up my website at www.notsunblaze.com. That's www.nahsunblaze.com, and check out my ebook, You, Me, Us, Them, The Swinger Manifesto. Why? Because it'll make you say, na 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 na, ow. And subscribe, share, comment, rate this podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, all the fucking podcast platforms that's out there, and just Google me, not Sun. And on that note, until next time, peace. And don't kiss them hoes in the mouth, man.